Sup, Devils? J-Dog back to answer some more goddamn questions. Questions we're going over today. The fucking video. Deicide raps now too, question mark? Move over Limp Bizkit and Corn. Glenn Benton here to rap you under the fucking table. That's what they're saying. That's the goat mans and shit are saying, man, that Deicide raps. He raps in his lingo too. Buddy damn Earl, man, he got a kick out of that. What the fuck are these kids talking about? I don't know, dude. I'm just reporting what they say. First goddamn question marks at the bottom. Ryan at 0-2, as always. Jade is question. My wife said I need to get an Excel spreadsheet of my music collection with monetary amounts. Why? Question marks. She said if I drop dead and she was to sell it off, she knows it's worth instead of being ripped off. Yeah. I told her I ain't planning on dying anytime soon, but she keeps on about it. Thoughts. My first thing that's popped in my mind is when reading that is she dead fucking serious or is she morbidly joking? Because if she's like dead serious, that's like a goddamn fucking pretty fucking grim. But I mean, I get her point. I mean, because technically, yeah, you could die in a car wreck on your fucking way to work tomorrow. You know what I mean? I've always said that. I accept that fact ages ago. I don't like I tell everybody, don't fear death, man. It's all we're trying to do is delay the inevitable. That's all we're trying to do. Like when you're trying to stay healthier or whatever, we're all gonna die. That's why I love it when people like, if you do this, you do that, yeah, you're gonna die. So are you saying that you're not gonna die then? Get your fucking lingo right, brah. We're all gonna die. It's the one guaranteed in this fucking life. It's the only 100% guarantee in this life. So why fucking fear it? You're just trying to delay it as long as possible. That's it. But yeah, so you could die in a car wreck tomorrow. So the thing is, though, is what would be hard about that she's probably not considering is if you make an Excel sheet now with some type of values, well, 20 years from now, those values are going to be drastically different. You know what I mean? Theoretically, they're all going to go up at least something. You know, some releases still never kind of increase in value because it doesn't get more. I don't know if that nothing does, but I've seen like, I remember when I on eBay, like probably around even like up to about year 2010, I remember I'd buy some like early 90s 7 inches, death metal 7 inches that I missed out on. And some of them I'd get for pretty cheap, like $15 or something. Now, granted, that is increased in value because when it came out, it was probably $6, right? But still, at that point, is literally like damn near fucking well over 20 years old. Well, yeah, well over 20 years old on someone you think it'd be worth more than $15. So, not everything's just shoot through the fucking roof like a goddamn stock, right? So, but you have to keep that in mind too. So, well, I mean, how often would you change the goddamn Excel list? Another thing too is, because Lindsay said similar things and kind of joked about it, but it's funny because just because you have something doesn't mean that you're going to get paid for it. And what I mean by that is like it's like let's say somebody like a random person that doesn't know metal broke into Hell's Headbangers and stole a ton of our records and shit. It's basically useless toilet paper to them because they don't have the means of where to sell it or know where to sell it. Yeah, they can put it on eBay and shit like that, but they don't know. I mean, that would be their only means, and that's a lot of fucking work. And selling on eBay. Who sold on eBay recently these days? I mean, I do very fucking rarely because it's the biggest fucking pain in the ass. It's gotten only harder and harder and harder. Um, and are you going to want, like, let's say you have 500 different pieces. Let's just say that for simple math. That's still a lot. She going to sit there one by one and list on eBay 500 different pieces? She ain't doing all that's a full fucking time job at that fucking point. She ain't doing that shit. You know what I mean? And then driving up to the post office for, and then, okay, well, this one didn't sell, so relist it. Packing all that shit up. Yeah, like I said, driving up to the post office. I mean, it's, when you're selling that, you have another fucking part-time job. So they ain't doing that. So honestly, what you're gonna do, somebody in her shoes, and I'm assuming she's not very involved in the metal scene, or just maybe, maybe kind of listens to a band that you do here, there. Oh, I enjoy this fucking, Iron Maiden or whatever, that type of deal. But for the most part, doesn't know what hemorrhage is, right? I'm gonna make an educated, not educated assumption, just an assumption that that's the case. If she's in that boat, her best bet is contacts, honestly, somebody like Hell's Headbangers, somebody like Nuclear War Now, and be like, now that the Excel list would help out for that, for her, give her an easy, like, hey, here's a list of the stuff that my husband had. You got to buy everything though, and you'd get a bundle price. Now you're not going to get retail prices because someone like ourselves, we would buy it if we wanted to. Like, oh yeah, we could resell this, but we're going to want it at a we're going to mark it up to obviously make a profit. We're not just buying it because it's a fucking charity. We're going to buy it if we got it for $10. We're going to sell it for 15 then. You know what I mean? That type of deal. But what would be nice about that is your labor would be very, very low. You'd still have some type of labor because let's say you have 500, you have to box all that shit up or to get it to somebody somehow. So you have that, but at least it's all in one bundle. It's all out in one sweep. It's like, okay, they took everything and here's a check for 20 grand. But you're not going to get the top values for that. But that's be your best bet. Because yeah, when anyone's selling off their collection one piece at a time, massive amount of work, and there's always gonna be the stragglers. Like, I couldn't sell this, couldn't sell that. I know because I know people that sold off their collection. For them, that's just what would be expected. So yeah, I see your point, but you know, uh, those are the upsides and downsides. From fucking Tampon Boy. Howdy, Horville. I agree that Hate Eternal was a Blanky and Binky band. I never fucking said that. They just play too many notes. Question marks. Which bands do you think play too many notes, which make them boring and not brutal? Too many notes. I mean, goddamn, what do I look like, fucking Jimi Hendrix over here? Any of the bands that just got way too technical. Um, Maybe a band like Origin got later because I like the first two Origin albums quite a bit, especially the first album. I think the first album was fan fucking tastic. But what I remember when I heard later ones, I was like, it was kind of like I never worded it as too many notes. I was just like, it's just too goddamn technical. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So a lot of shit in that vein. But a lot of it would just be newer bands that it's like I don't even know what it is. Sewer Vomit question, J Dog. What was your first thought back in the day when Jack Owens left Cannibal Corpse and joined Deicide shortly after? Didn't I can't answer that? I thought, fucking man, this guy's a fucking dumbass and a half for when it comes to business. Like, why would you even think that's even remotely a good idea? I'm gonna have to assume on that too that there's some type of behind the scenes that they were bickering about or something because he just said, "Yeah, I was just bored, want to try something new." Bored, wanted to try something new. Like that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Like so you leave Cannibal to go to Deicide. Yeah, because that's so much fucking different. You're gonna be doing the same goddamn thing, touring pretty much the same venues, same clubs, because what the fuck you think they're doing, and playing a very similar style of music. It's one thing if he left that and he's like now he's in a jazz band in a completely different scene. I'm like, okay, that's trying something new. So it's like you didn't try anything new. So I think that was a big ass bullshit cop out answer. Not that we're fucking entitled to any goddamn response. It's technically none of our goddamn fucking business, right? So I can understand that, but I think there's some behind the scenes shit. Because yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like, why would you like? Because I would bet anything, dude. I don't know what he was getting paid at Deicide, but I guarantee you it was a fucking pay cut. Because Cannibal Corpse is just a bigger band, and he was an original member. He wrote on the records. I mean, he had them and making more money. Like, so why do you take a pay cut? Literally, that's literally like I'm working at McDonald's, getting kind of fucking bored. I'm making $10 an hour at McDonald's. You know, I'm working the drive-through and flipping the burgers. I'm fucking bored. Want to try something new? Going down the street for Burger King, and I'm going to work for $8.50 an hour. The fuck? To do the same thing and make more or less money? That's literally like what he. That's literally what he did. Left McDonald's for $10 an hour to go to Burger King, work their drive-through, and flip their burgers for $8.50 an hour. At what point does that make any motherfucking sense whatsoever? It doesn't. So that's not the reason he left. What the reason is, I don't know. But he gave the public a bullshit response. Dog knew then. Dog knew that's some bull. That's some bullshit, Owens. Important Spawn 666. I know a guy who says Diabolos Musica is his favorite Slayer album. Laughy faces. Yeah, that's a little hard to believe. I mean, yeah, I mean, whatever he's into, I don't care. I just think, does he like the rest of the Slayer albums, and does he like other real metal? Again, I don't really care what. Like, I don't care if a guy's favorite band's Limp Bizkit. It doesn't bother me none. It's just when they come over and they're talking to you like they're totally in the loop. Not only hit that iron fist, brother. God damn, dude. We were just out fucking at dinner the other night. Well, not the other night, last fucking night. It's a place called Johnny J's. It's fucking Medina. It's a bar, restaurant. God, man. Best wings in town, though. I'll give credit due. God damn, though. We went there to fucking like 9 p.m. Dude, douches to the fucking high motherfucking ass Evans. Biggest bunch of fucking flat brim Browns hats I've ever fucking seen in one room. Canoe as fuck. Man, I've almost barfed up my wings. Because I haven't been in a room with so many goddamn canoes in a while. Because technically, I guess, yeah, like a bar type restaurant we haven't gone to, I guess, in a while. Like it really died down since COVID. And part of the reason is um the restaurants, even when they were open and shit, they're closing really early. They're closing at 10 o'clock, that type of shit. So I don't know, for whatever reason, we just didn't go out much. We just ordered food in or something like that, or we went out earlier and then went to a show afterwards. So this is kind of my first sit down in a bar slash restaurant in a little while, maybe a year or two. So it's like, God damn, fucking canoe as fuck. But when I see that shit, it's those guys. That's why people, I think they get the wrong impression of me when they come over. This guy's a gatekeeper and you're not allowed to like anything he doesn't like. I never fucking said that. I'm the complete opposite of that. You're allowed to like all the way to Tupac. I don't give a shit. Just when I see some fucking flat brim fucking Browns hat wearing mofo and he comes up to me because I got a Cannibal shirt on. Actually, this was the shirt I wore yesterday too, goddammit. Yeah, I wear my shirt 2 days in a row, goddammit. If it ain't dirty, it's got no spaghetti stains, it gets double fucking war. That's how the fuck it works. So I was wearing this shirt. Granted, nobody did come up to me last night. Fucking thank the fucking devil. God damn, that would have been annoying. But I could totally see it. I was waiting for it, motherfucking waiting for it, especially because I had a Cannibal shirt on because they've heard of them, right? They give you the fucking hit that iron fist, bro. Yeah, I like dude. Fuck yeah, corn, man. Pantera, fucking what? Heavier than Pantera. I've heard of this scary Cannibal Corpse. Isn't that ultra crazy shit, bro? Man, have you heard the fucking latest deathcore infant annihilator? When they're coming at me like with that shit, and then they haven't heard Cannibal, and then they damn sure haven't heard the fucking goddamn the underground shit like Necrovores and shit like that. I don't even need to ask that. That potatoes, I already know. That's where it gets annoying because they're coming up like, yeah, Slayer Diabol's best fucking album, favorite album. It's like, but it's your favorite album, but you haven't heard anything as far as I'm concerned, as far as real metal. Again, there's nothing, you got to start somewhere, but when they're walking around and trying to mingle with you, and I'm on your level, not that I'm above them, but it's just like, it's just the equivalent to me, again, use the McDonald's reference. Best burgers in the world is McDonald's. Really? Have you ever had burgers at fucking Five Guys, Wendy's, Billy Bob Joe's fucking Side Shack burgers? No, I never had any of them. No, I've only had McDonald's. So you've had one place. How do you know any of the best burgers in the world then? You're not qualified to make that statement. So when you get these fucking jackass fucking canoes and Google, what's heavier than Pantera? What did I tell you guys? Even fucking Google, it says heaviest band in the world, Pantera. That's what the Google search says. Unfucking believable. There's not one Pantera record that's heavier than Tomb of the Mutilated, and this isn't even the goddamn heaviest thing in the fucking world. This ain't as heavy as the fucking Tish. You know what I mean? There's heavier shit than this. And that's what it says, though. So when you're giving out false fucking information, and you're not even qualified for the fucking job, that's what I think when I hear the Diabolos music. It's not. I could care less if fucking goddamn. If it was Steve-O from Empatego, like, man, dude, that Diabolos, fuck yeah, that was a good one. I really liked that in the 90s. Oh, okay, cool. I wouldn't care because he's in the know. He knows the real shit. But generally speaking, there's always exceptions to the rule. And I know actually not exceptions to the rule. Oliver Peters, that guy, he likes every Slayer album, even Diabolos, crazy. Who, even the rap album? So yeah, even the rap album. He's been in the metal since the 80s, before I was born. So he knows all the real shit. So it's just, there's exceptions. But generally speaking, like the guy you said, his favorite album, Slayer, Diabolos, don't know the guy, don't know anything about the guy. It's possible I'm wrong. Just when I hear that information, that screams to me, oh, Marilyn Manson, Cold Chamber, Korn, Limp Bizkit, what's heavier than Pantera, fucking System of a Down, bro, fucking Linkin Park just jams my fucking nuts, man. That type of shit. That's what I'm thinking. And maybe they heard a Cannibal. Maybe they heard a Cannibal. That's the type of guy. I'm like, dude, get educated before you fucking walk around. You know damn well, because outside, talking to somebody like the goddamn dog, somebody that actually knows what's up, he's in his family functions or out and about with his buds. He's talking about how goddamn metal he is when the conversation of music comes up. And they're like, oh yeah, Johnny fucking B over there. He's the fucking metal guy, man. He likes that crazy Slayer. and all that stuff. He's just like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? And he's just polluting the mind and fucking sending more misinformation out there to other people. Not that I give a fuck what they think or anything. It's just not the goddamn point. It's just conversation for the top for the goddamn channel, and it's just cringe when you see it. You're just like, oh my fucking god, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It's that type of shit. So that's what I think when I see that. Critical Mass, J Dog. You should do an interview with Tommy Redefining Darkness. Haven't heard from that man since Hellcast days. Maybe. See, these guys, that's the thing, is someone like Tommy, I feel weird interviewing someone like him or like even Paul from Embalmer, which I asked Paul and he didn't reply, so I'm assuming it's a no go. But it's fine because those guys are like they're my friends. You know what I mean? The Dawn of the Dead one worked well because I had all the pre questions, and I know Nunslaughter's got a pretty big fan base, so that's why I made that 2 minute video. Say, hey guys, give me all. I'm doing an interview with Dawn of the Dead. List all your questions, and it was like fucking 140 questions. Like, oh shit, fuck, this will work because even though like when I heard, like, I was like, yeah, I can easily interview Dawn of the Dead. I was like, I was like, I've been friends with the guy for fucking over 20 goddamn years. I'm like, I don't really, for me, it just feels weird. Like, it'd be like me interviewing one of my brothers. Like, it just feels fake to me. And I just like the whole thing to be organic. But if I had a list of questions to me, so I'm like, okay, I'll just read this off and I'll just ask them, so that would work out. But for me to do off the cuff with Tommy, it wouldn't be really, maybe it would just be more so, maybe if he came down the shop and as soon as he walked in the door, Lindsay just hit record on the fucking phone and we're just talking. It'd be more of a conversation. But the thing is with that is you might not find it interesting because, when like guys like Athener or Tommy or Don come down just off the cuff, you would hear conversation. A lot of you guys are like, this is boring as fuck because we're not talking about anything metal related. We're just talking about just general life, fucking shit that's going on, or maybe metal stuff will kind of come up like, hey, this tour's coming up. We'll talk about that a little bit. Or sometimes when Big D gets back from a tour, tell some goddamn funny tour stories. Whether it been whoever, other bands or the promoters or whatever, fuck it up, whatever they do. So those could be a laugh, but a lot of those, I don't think. Yeah, some of the Don and Jamie, actually, the Athenar's conversations, I think actually those probably would be the best videos, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. I wouldn't be able to post them. It's because they both them like, dude, you can't post this shit. I'm not putting that in public. That's me saying that because they might be talking. Might be a promoter they're pissed at, or something like that, or maybe a band member they're pissed at. I'm not saying it's those direct things. I'm just saying, but stuff that's like, dude, I don't want this out there. You can't put that out. But oh man, it'd be pretty fucking funny. Actually, it was the interview I did do with Athenar. We had a I forget what we were talking about. I think we were busting balls on one of the band, like old bands. Maybe it was Celtic Frost, but I don't think it was Frost. It was somebody. And we were sitting at his kitchen table before the interview started. We're just like having a beer and some pizza actually. And I was like, "Fuck, we should just start recording now. Get this out." He's like, "Ah, dude, I'm not recording this." He's like, "Yeah, you can't post that, man." He's like, "You're gonna cause problems for me. I go on the road, man. These guys are gonna be fronting me. What the fuck?" I was like, "Yeah, no, I understand." I was like, "Well, those would be the funniest videos." Oh, it'd totally be funny. Jodikin's question, have you checked out the recommendation you got from Yasin about Owls Wood Graves yet? Great recommendation. Yeah, I did. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I listened to the later album he told me about because I Metal Archives told they have like 2 or 3 albums. I think it's their latest one. And yeah, I thought it was pretty good. They definitely, the Misfits parts and shit, it's not on like every song from what I heard. They've thrown in there. But yeah, I thought all, I was like, this is pretty good shit. And yeah, definitely Owls, Woods, Graves. It's almost like a tongue twister. Definitely kind of hard to remember. Was not familiar with them whatsoever, but now I am. And I'll keep an eye out too for if anything comes to your house, put on the shop in the fucking background too for everyone else to hear it myself and, give it the full goddamn stereo listen, right? Because yeah, just all I did was YouTube it. Right? Mr. Slorante. Question marks. J Dog. What musically would you like to see to make a resurgence and what would you like to see go away? Also, I have it on good authority that you are open to the exchange of Cavalt points for HHR merchandise. Any word if and when this may start? Don't know. I never heard anything about the Cavalt points. But to answer your goddamn question, the first one, what would I like to see resurgence and go away? Mm, go away. Less bands. There's just too damn many. It's just overwhelming. It's just ridiculous at this point. So I would take take all of extreme music, death metal, black metal, grindcore. I'd chop it down to fucking 1/3. So let's just say, just for the sake of numbers, let's say there was 1,000 bands. Obviously, way more than that. Let's just say 1,000 to give you people to do the math. I don't know. There's now 333 bands. Because yeah, it's just way too goddamn. It's just ridiculous at this fucking point. So that Resurgence. I mean, pretty much all the genres kind of have come around time and time again, right? I was gonna say something wrong, just writing more memorable songs. But that seems like kind of like a cheesy cop out answer because I don't think bands are intentionally writing unmemorable songs. Because just I don't know, when I think about like when you put on like, do you like say the first Deicide record, because early '90s, and a lot of bands, or even like Suffocation, Human Waste, it was just instantly like the song stood out and they didn't blur together. As opposed to now, if you get a death metal of that genre, early '90s death metal of any type, there's a lot of bands that would be on Maggot Stomp or 20 Bucks Spin. You're like, it does sound like early '90s death metal. It does. They captured the sound. I was like, but none of these songs stand out. I was like literally, it's just all going over my head. Like it's just blurred. Like it's a solid background listen. It's what I call, like I said, I've used it before. It's elevator metal to me. It was like, here's some elevator death metal. I was like, because none of the songs are sticking out. It's just breaking the silence. And this is the kind of music that I like to hear. It's what my ears enjoy, rather than some fucking cheesy ass classic rock or something I can get two flying fucks about hearing. I'd rather hear just a death metal recording. But I'm like, this is nothing I'm going to pick up. I was like, none of these songs are standing out. Occasionally, every now and again, there's stuff that does. Well, I'm like, whoa, these songs, and they're just catchy. One that did. This is why I tend to fucking lately say it's probably me that's the problem. It's like, it can't be all the bands are just nothing doing nothing for you going over your head. I'm like, it's probably just you getting old, heard it all, seen it all type of deal. Maybe you're just kind of like, you know, you were young when you first heard those. There's definitely still that syndrome for sure. But I'll put out a perspective, dude. Rib Spreader, the band Rib Spreader, which I'm generally a fan of, not the hugest fan, but a fan. I own a few of the records. Bolted to the Cross is great. I own CD LP of that. I own a few of their discs, right? I probably own about three of their full lengths. I think three of their full lengths, either on LP or CD, right? So I don't own everything. Good band. There's the Van Murders Part 1 and 2. Got a little confused which one's which, that type of shit. But, good solid, but nothing original Swedish death metal. New album comes out. I don't know how long ago it came out, but we got the new album on CD. I assume it's a new album. I didn't recognize it at all. Was it the Slithering World or some shit like that? Check out those headbands. Maybe we still have some stock. I don't know. I know we sold some already, but came out. I was like, oh, this must be the new Rib Spreader. I was like, I never heard of this one. I put it on the player. The entire time, the first fucking listen, I was like, yeah, this is nothing original. It's more Swedish death metal, just like all the Rib Spreader albums and the Paganizer stuff that who's the Roga Johansson or whatever the guy's name is, that's the two guys or whatever. They do all the stuff. They do several different bands, but it like all sounds the same. So it's like, why don't you just do one band, bro? It's the same shit, but whatever. But all of it I pretty much enjoy. But I put on the new Rib Spreader, but all the songs were catchy, and I was thoroughly entertained from beginning to end. I'm like, oh, so it can be done. So it's like it's got to be most of the bands. Most I put on, I'm like, it's just literally the background. I was like, but I already forgot what it sounded like after I shut it off. Maybe not what it sounded like, but I wouldn't have been able to hum any of the songs or tap my foot to it. The Rib Spreader I could though. I was like, oh yeah, this is catchy, memorable, fucking stood out. I was thoroughly entertained. That's a new goddamn release, and Rib Spreader's a newer band, at least in the all in all, when you compare it to fucking, Deicide, Grave, shit like that. I don't remember exactly when Rib Spreader started, but I'm almost positive to the 2000s. Bolted to the Cross was the first album, right? What year is that? 2008 or so? I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But there's no way they started in the 90s. Unless they're not if they're pulling that Intrail shit either. Started in 92, first demo 2009. No, none of that canooness. When did your first demo actually come out? That's when you started. So, yeah, who knows? Because, I mean, like, check out the Rib Spreader. I thought it was a good album. You know what I mean? Again, it was nothing original. Like, oh, man, never heard this before. But I was like, it was an entertaining goddamn listen. Comes question surgery, nothing to do. But the God's Boss can answer in the morning. Later, goddamn it.